Right there. Ready? You ready for this, my man?
I think so.
Good. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to our very first episode, or hopefully our first episode of Unmasking with NESDA. We're going to go ahead and start out with a word of prayer. You ready? All right. Father in heaven, thank you so much for bringing this podcast together, for bringing these amazing people on board to help us get this podcast going. Lord, we pray that, again, as Pastor Eliab said, the courage and then to speak whatever's going on in our minds and our hearts and around our world today so that we can reach others. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. So what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just life.
Are your muscles still hurting?
It's still hurt.
Why do they hurt so bad?
We worked out the other day. It's really intense.
I've been telling Daniel, guys, in case you didn't know. He works out once a day, and then he's probably gone for the next 2 months. As long as you after that. So tell us about yourself, Daniel. What you got going on?
Nothing much. Just been working out. Hopefully every day.
Yes.
Hopefully every day.
Be consistent, right?
Yes. I've been trying to eat healthier.
Good.
Saving up for my apartment, but that's basically it.
And you just graduated, right?
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. So you're going to college?
Yes.
Right. Is it UTEP?
You know, it was UTEP, but now it's going to be EBCC. Sorry, Zach.
It's going to be what? I'm sorry?
It's going to be EBCC instead.
ABCC, what's that?
EPCC.
Oh, EPCC.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, ABCC?
Yeah.
I learned your alphabet.
Sorry, Zach.
No wonder Zach's man.
Yeah, I'm going to save some money going to EPCC. So.
Right on. And so what led to that decision? Was it, is it an economical thing?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Like, first, I was going to UTEP because I was going to be a music major, and then I ended up getting a scholarship in music. So I was like, hey, why not? Go to UTEP. You have the money for it. You have financial aid. You have the scholarship. But then they messed up my enrollment, and all this COVID-19, everything is.
COVID.
Yeah.
We're in the day of COVID, by the way, people. 2020.
2020. If you're listening in the future.
2020. Today's July, what? 26th?
27.
2020.
Yeah, but I had to email everybody. They messed up my enrollment. They had to put me through enrollment again, and I ended up losing my scholarship in that process. So I had to, I still have my financial aid, but UTEP's music program, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do music that much. So yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking, I was like, can I do general studies? And they told me they don't have an undeclared major, but they do have a general studies major, which is kind of weird. But I was like, if I'm going to do general studies, might as well just go to UTEP or EBCC and get it for cheaper. So yeah, I'm thinking about transferring over this probably this week, save some money on my end. So
that's a big deal. Scholarship.
Yeah.
Jeez. What'd your folks think, man?
They were, I don't know. They just kind of like, oh, cool, scholarship. I don't have to pay for it, type of thing. But yeah, I was kind of on my own for college, so I was hoping for any scholarship I got. But financial aid is gonna at least get me through my first or second year. So
right on. So in all this craziness of COVID and going to school, applying for school, I mean, you guys are going through things with this virus at hand, things I didn't have to deal with 20 some odd years ago. So where in this does God fit into the picture for you? Where is it that have you been praying on it? Have you been talking to Him about it? What's going on with that?
Yeah, like these past few months have probably been like the most I don't know, challenging, but yet you grow personally in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think spiritually is one of the ways. I mean, just these past few months. I mean, now we're moving out, so we have to move out. That was a pretty big deal.
It's a lot of change.
It's a lot of change.
You're going through tons of it.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of got hit, back to back. You graduate. I mean, you didn't even get a full graduation. It was like a drive-through graduation. School was canceled.
I live close to the SAC, by the way. His graduation. I feel so bad for you guys.
Yeah, literally, it was like you graduate. All right, you have a job now. You're working full time. And you're moving out in a month. It's like, it's a lot. And then I haven't actually saved anything in my savings account since I lost my other job in March.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, I don't have a job. I'm kind of, in a creek, without a paddle.
Yeah.
So I talked to my dad. He's like, you got to start saving, you know. So I started doing DoorDash, start saving all this stuff up. But you know, I've been home a lot, so yeah. So I've been home a lot, thinking, you know, you're sitting there, and you know, a lot of the time it's just boredom. But then again, you kind of figure out what your goals are, who you are as a person, and I think coming to Bible studies has kind of opened up a few doors for me. Not just you know, not just coming to church and whatnot, but
Right.
I think it's opened up my view of how I view church.
Right.
I don't know. Before it was just a whole different view, but now I come to Bible studies. I don't even think I would have agreed to Bible studies if it wasn't during summertime and during COVID,
Yeah.
you know, where everybody had nothing to do. So I mean, like, you know what, I'm not doing anything, so let me go to Bible studies, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I actually find out something every time. So
You learn something new.
yeah, I mean, most of the times you already know most of this. I mean, I grew up in an Adventist family, so I know most of this stuff, but it's like you're relearning it in a different light. So it's kind of cool. Like,
It's refreshing.
it's refreshing. Yeah, you hear these things in a new perspective and a new light and a new like type of I don't know, like sub message behind it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like before, I don't know. I just believe like it's fire, brimstone, you know, type of thing for the Bible. But now I'm just seeing it in completely different way. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't think it was possible if I didn't start coming to Bible studies and all that stuff. So, you know, you grow when you're all the way to senior. You grow, you know, mature like you're out of high school. You gotta live life now. But then, you know, it's cool. I also, you know, get to see God in a different way. So.
And see, that's amazing, because this whole COVID thing, if anything, it forces people to reflect on who they are and what they've been doing. We've been accustomed to living, you know, life in a fast lane, so to speak. So much going on, so much distraction, whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to mow the lawn, there's so many factors. But to me, and I like the way you put it, you kind of take a step back and kind of reflect on who you are. Hence, you know, our show, Unmasking, right? Who are we really? And at the end, and I always tell people this. I tell my wife this every day. It's every day we wake up, we owe it to ourselves. It's a personal responsibility to take charge of our lives. It's an opportunity to say, I choose God today. It's an opportunity, like, what am I going to accomplish today? Am I going to watch Netflix all day? You know, and then it's funny because a lot of people I know is like, oh, I've gained 15 pounds, I've gained 30 pounds.
That was me before yesterday.
That's why we're working out. People, don't worry about it. I'm going to whip them into shape. Yeah, but you know, it's funny because you go through these things and you realize, like, gosh, do I want to keep doing this? How long is this COVID thing going to last anyway, right? All these restrictions, all these mandates, all these public orders, right? And then I got what it's done for me personally too, is it's opened opportunities to do the Reflect and Revive on Wednesdays that we do for the church. It's opened up doing this podcast now, recording with this Mevo now that I have these girls here that are going to learn it, and I don't have to do it anymore, right?
Pray about it.
Right, exactly.
Pray about it.
Pray, yeah. Hey, y'all are here, so that's an important thing. So, and if anything, it's like, okay, well, you know, there's so much finger pointing, right, that can go around, and you hear this on the news or the fake news, whatever you want to call it, and then at the end of the day, though, we have to take charge of our lives. We have to say, look at every day that God gives us and say, you know what, this is an opportunity to do something. What am I going to accomplish today? How am I going to help myself? How am I going to help those around me, right? How am I going to motivate? How can I stay disciplined? And when you go through that, when you discipline yourself, I think whether it's reading, whether it's working out, whether it's setting a specific schedule to read or study or the Bible, whatever the case may be, you give yourself that discipline. It's going to eventually lead to a lot of freedom, I think, and freedom to do other things that you didn't think possible. I mean, we're here right now. Did we ever think in a million years we'd get here? Oh, right. And if those of you who don't know, I used to teach Sabbath school on Saturdays here at our church a few years ago with Mr. Zach over here and Mr. Daniel here, and those were always interesting times, to say the least. And often at times, what would we talk about?
We wouldn't even talk about the lesson.
We didn't even talk about the lesson. Probably only Zach, because Zach was the only one that studied it. I can trust Zach to do it. You know what I mean? But, and in fact, if anything, that's what planted, I guess you could say, the seed in my brain. was like, wait a minute, this is like barbershop talk in a way. And then and I thought about it, it's like, why not start a podcast? And that's what kind of like, and that seed just kind of grew and grew over time, over months, and you know, praise be to God, here we are, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, like how you were talking earlier, how everybody just has these busy lives. We're always in the fast lane going, 100 whatever miles an hour or whatever. But when you're forced to slow down, you're just like, it's like when you hit traffic and you slow down, you're like, and you just start thinking, you're not moving anywhere. You're like, what am I going to do after this when I get home?
It's like, oh wait, my phone's off. What do I do?
You're like, what am I going to do when I get home? What am I going to eat? You know, like,
Yeah.
You don't really think about that when you're on the road, but when you stop, it's just like, hey, look, I need a gas change or an oil change. You know, it's like, you're forced to like take things in a new light and just like, you know, besides the road in front of you, like what else is important to me? You know.
Yes.
And I think that's also something that I've dealt with these past few months. It's just I know people, the whole quarantine memes and all that stuff. Like, there's nothing to do, you know.
It's somewhat funny. I give it that.
Yeah, they have their moments, but I think it's just I think it gives you an opportunity to, you know, who am I? What am I going to be doing? You know, what is my place in this world? What does God want me to do? You know, and
absolutely,
I think this time of like peace and like quiet. I mean, you know, in your own way, in your it kind of helps you think of
in a troubled world right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all this stuff is going around, but yet you have the time to think about yourself and what you can do with it. You know, it's really interesting. It's such a weird time. You know, there's just so much going on, but yet you still have that you know, hey, the movie theater's not open, so what am I going to do? And you're just home. And then, but when you're home, you know, some people hate it, but you know, some people, you know, like me, I kind of thrive when I'm alone. So, you know, I get to thinking, I get to do all this other stuff. So, you know, I think exactly like I said earlier, just you start thinking and you open your mind to different things, different, you know, and you grow that way, I think. You know, I actually bought a whole bunch of books, none of which I've finished yet, but, you know,
it's all right.
But it's good that I bought them, though, because I know at some point I will have to sit down and finish them. Because I know now that we're working out and do a lot of stuff, we're going to do on a schedule. I'm like, you know what? Let me try to read one book a week, or you know, get an audio version, because I'm at work all day, so
audiobooks are the best.
Standing at work all day, so I might as well just finish a book while I'm at work. You know, they're usually 6 hours, 7 hours long. Might as well get through a book at work or something. Exactly. But yeah, it opens up different things for you to do, and like this new job is pretty cool. You know, without me getting this job, it wouldn't. You know, Devin wouldn't have the interview on Tuesday or tomorrow. You know, so
in disguise, dude, right there.
So and the thing is, Devin was so against getting this job because I'm like, hey, dude, man, get this. I got the certification. You should do this job with me. You know, it'd be pretty cool. You get some experience on your belt for Border Patrol, or whatever. He's like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But then when I got it, and I told him, hey, bro, I got $15 an hour, and he's like, well, you make $15 an hour, and I'm like what? Yeah. He's like, bro, I'm making $10 in the sun and it's beating on me all day. I was like, yeah, you should do it. And he jumped right on it. So, but now he has an interview tomorrow. I mean, hopefully all goes well and he gets it. But you know, he would be, you know, he wouldn't be going and he wouldn't be moving up if, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say it's me, but you know, I think if things work out and God just puts it in, you know, he puts you in perspective and, you know, he opens up opportunities. Because originally I wasn't going to get this job anyway, because I had the certification sitting in my belt since February,
right?
And you know, I didn't think I needed to get a job right away, but you know, after I lost my other one, I was kind of sitting at home doing DoorDash and all that stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I have this thing. Might as well just go get the job in it. So I did that. I went to this one guy who's paying $8 an hour. He's a private business. And I'm like, yeah, he hired me right away. He's like, yeah, but you know, the whole COVID situation. He's like, I'm going to give you a 2-week cool-off period. And then once that 2-week period is over, we push to work. And during that 2 weeks, I got a tip on this other job that I'm working right now. And I jumped on it, and I got the job. So I gave him a call. I was like, hey, thank you for hiring me, but I found something better for me. He's like, that's good, you know. So I mean, it all works because, you know, it's like these opportunities just open up because I slowed down and I just thought about it, you know. So it's kind of cool just knowing that things happen when you're not trying to control everything in your life, and you just take a step back and let life take its course and let, you know, God open the doors in your way. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. We good on time, Zach? Okay, sweet. You're the man. You got my timekeeper. I appreciate you, dude. All right. So we've been working out, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest messages our church delivers is the health message, right? So as far as the health message for you personally, what does that mean to you in terms of what you've been trying to accomplish or what goals you set?
Okay, the health message is probably one of the biggest things I struggle with because, you know, when you're just in a busy lifestyle, you always want to like get something quick, you know. So it's always for me. My goal, my Achilles heel was always Taco Bell. You go to that dollar.
That's an SDA favorite, right, Preston? Oh my gosh.
you go to that dollar menu.
That thing just sends me to the restroom.
Exactly. But you go to that dollar menu, you can get like a whole thing for like $3.
You get more bang for your buck, especially those $5 boxes.
The $5 boxes and all that stuff. And, you're like, yeah, I don't want to go home and make something. So when I'm on my way home from like, I don't know, I was doing DoorDash before,
right.
And it's been a long shift, whatever. I'm on my way home, so I pick something up, and I'm like, this is cool. I got a little Taco Bell. I'm gonna go home and just relax. But then like, I feel like crap afterwards.
I know. It's always those foods that, oh man, I want that Popeyes. I want that Whataburger. I want that Mickey D's. It's just so good. So why is it that the good food, well, I should say the very healthy food is probably not as tasty, probably for some, right?
I think we just got so accustomed to all this other stuff, like artificial sweeteners,
artificials,
all that stuff. It's just, it's a thing where these past few days, when I went to your house yesterday, we got that bean bowl or salad.
Yeah, bean salad.
I mean, that was
vegan.
Yeah, like so I was surprised. I was like, man, this is vegan. It's vegan. But when I went home today, or when I was at home today, and I was like, after I did the workout that you sent me, I was like, what am I gonna eat? So I made myself an omelet, with some mushrooms I put in there, and then after that, like it was later in the day before I came, I threw it was like a chicken breast with some lemon, and some pepper on it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. But it was hard though, because I'm like, man, there's other things in this fridge. Yes. There's fruit punch there. There's a Kit Kat literally just sitting in the door. I was like, oh, don't do that to me.
The temptation is everywhere.
It's just so easy though. It's just so easy. So I think you're right when we talked about, you said it earlier, discipline. The whole working out thing. I think discipline comes with its benefits. I mean, it sucks at first because you're trying to adjust, because if you're not used to discipline and you're trying to put yourself on this schedule, this diet, this whatever it is,
it's a lifestyle change.
It's an adjustment. Yeah,
it is. It's huge.
So today, it's second day in. We'll see.
Well, hey, like I always say,
it's going strong for now.
Take baby steps. If you mess up one day, so what? Get back on that horse tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
A cheat day once in a while, that's understandable. Enjoy it, but again, it's trying to put in those good lean proteins, those healthy carbs, right? It's okay to eat carbs, by the way. Sweet potatoes, very healthy for you. And then of course your vegetables and all that, right? And then you and I, we talked about this. I don't know, maybe last month. The last time we had worked out prior was, we're lifting weight, we're deadlifting, we're doing back squats and all. Like, how much did Samson really lift?
Yes, I remember we were talking about that. We're like, how tall was this guy?
How tall was he, right?
How tall was this guy?
I mean, all we knew is he had long hair, right? And he was what, a Nazarite? That's about it, right?
Yeah, he was a big guy. That's all we know. Right. But we were talking about
was he swole?
Was he swole? Was he just like an average looking guy?
Right.
Like great strength? But we're me and Adrian were going back and forth. We're like, is this guy like a tall, the Rock type guy,
right,
or is he like some just an average looking guy with just some like crazy strength?
Just blessed with the strength that God gave him, right?
But we were talking. We like to think. I mean, we don't know, but we pictured him as this guy. He's pretty swole. I mean, not cut. Because in the Bible, people weren't going to like these competitions. Who has the least body fat.
He didn't have protein shakes.
Yeah, there was no protein shakes. There was no water. All that other things. But I think we were saying he's probably just a big swole guy. Tall guy and everything. But the whole health message thing, it's just, we wonder what he was going through with how big he was and all that.
Exactly. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you look at world records out there for strength competitions, powerlifting, all that. The record for deadlift is 501 kilos, which is over 1,100 pounds, right? So, and, I mean, it's half Fort Bear the Mountain. We've seen Game of Thrones. That's who lifted that weight. And I always pictured Samson. It's like, okay, well, if he,
he's blessed by God, so this guy has
blessed
to be
by
strong.
God, he's got to be stronger.
He's got to be strong.
Than that,
He has to
right?
be strong already, but then he's blessed by God on top of that. So
he's got to. I'm thinking like, all right, 1,100 something pounds, 501 kilos has got to be what? He's got to do maybe 3 sets of 10.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he'll struggle the last 2 or 3 reps, but you
Yeah.
got to think, man, this guy can probably lift a tank.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, he shook pillars.
The pillars, yeah, like he had to have severe strength to crack those pillars and bring the whole place down. So
Exactly.
It's so cool when you're trying to put these biblical people in like these real life. I mean, because there is real life situations, but like in modern day situations, because we're much smaller human beings compared to biblical times and all that stuff.
Absolutely, man.
So like, how do we stack against these people? If I was put in a one-on-one with Samson, like how destroyed would I be?
He'd be your ultimate MMA guy.
Yeah, I'd probably get crushed like a cola can or something. Like lick me like a pocky hug. But
It's crazy.
yeah, it's just so interesting how we were talking about Samson the other day, and we were struggling with the deadlifts and all that stuff. We're like,
I know.
man, this is cool and all, but like, what would Samson do? Like, he just throw the bar
toss it
like
away.
15.
Here, let me hold this up with one pinky, and you guys go ahead and rack it for me.
Yeah, I mean, you give him a football, he throws it like 6 football fields or something.
Oh, I know, man.
I don't know.
It's powerful. But thank you, Daniel, for coming on, man.
My pleasure.
I already see God working through you in many ways. Those Bible studies, school, your job, and helping your brother. Gotta get your brother out here.
Yeah, we gotta get him out here. Hopefully he's the next.
You better
Guest
show
on
him,
here.
man. Would you like to close us out with a prayer, dude?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go for it.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for getting us together to talk about life in general and how we see you working in our lives today. Thank you for giving us a slowdown just to take a step back and observe, self-examine, and see your work working through us. And I want to thank you for the friends and family who encourage each other as we're going through all this difficult and weird times going on right now. We ask that you keep us strong and keep us healthy, and
Yes.
you keep us going. Give us the motivation, give us the clear headedness to just keep moving forward and help anybody else on the way.
Amen. Thank you, everybody. Stop. You hit the stop.
I do one more. One of these ladies.
I'm down.
I felt like it's weird. I felt like I've done this before.
That was really good.
Oh, we did
Yeah,
22
really.
minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's because I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I feel like
That's okay. 15 to 30 range is good.
Yeah.
Do one more with them. One more. One of the ladies.
One of the ladies.
We're gonna need another microphone for sure, because it's gonna be too hard
Oh, yeah.
sharing it back and forth.
Yeah, tell me how much another microphone is.
Yeah, how much are the mics cost?
Oh, look, it's on American Music.
Should she stop recording?
Oh, yeah.
We can edit it.
Yeah, we